Imagine a classroom in 1910. An anxious boy sits at the back, his hands trembling over his paper. He's failed every test this term. The teacher, instead of another red mark, pauses and says softly, "You've got a curious mind. I think you could be a fine writer one day." That single sentence changed everything. The boy grew up to become a respected journalist. He never forgot that moment. It wasn't a grade that changed him. It was belief. Dale Carnegie believed in the magic of belief, not empty praise, but sincere encouragement. He wrote, "Give the other person a fine reputation to live up to." Those words hold quiet power. They don't shout, they lift. We live in a world that shouts criticism from rooftops, but whispers encouragement in shadows. And yet, the smallest whisper of belief can echo through a lifetime. A word of faith can pull a person from failure's edge. It can reignite hope in a heart that had gone cold. Encouragement doesn't just change moods, it changes destinies. Carnegie understood that human beings live up or down to the expectations placed on them. When someone sees us as capable, worthy, and good, something inside us begins to agree. The story we tell ourselves shifts. Encouragement is not flattery. It's truth spoken in advance. It says, "I see what you could be." Flattery feeds the ego. Encouragement feeds the soul. Carnegie once trained a young manager who complained about a lazy employee. "I've scolded him, threatened to fire him, and nothing works," he said. Carnegie smiled. "Then try something you haven't yet. Give him a reputation to live up to." So the manager called the man in and said, "You've been with us a while. You're capable of far better work. In fact, I'm counting on you to set the pace this month." That month, the man transformed. The lazy worker became the most reliable. Why? Because someone gave him a reputation he didn't want to disappoint. That's encouragement. It's seeing potential before it blooms. When you believe someone can rise, you awaken what psychologists later called the Pygmalion effect. People perform better when they're expected to. Carnegie discovered it decades before science named it. He knew that belief is contagious. When you give it away, it multiplies. Encouragement is leadership at its finest. It's parenting, mentoring, friendship, all wrapped in faith. Criticism shrinks people. It builds walls instead of bridges. A sharp tongue can cut deeper than any knife, and unlike physical wounds, these take years to heal. You can drive someone by fear, but only as far as your presence reaches. Encourage them, and they'll go far beyond where you could ever push them. In a Pittsburgh steel factory, a supervisor noticed two workers always missing deadlines. Carnegie suggested he find one good thing in their work, no matter how small, and praise it sincerely. The next week, he told them, "Your work is improving. I knew you had the skill." By the third week, their output doubled. By the fourth, they led the line. They didn't change because they were scolded. They changed because someone finally believed they could. True leaders build confidence, not dependency. Napoleon once said his men would die for a ribbon, a symbol of recognition. Carnegie went further. Give honest appreciation. Give a fine reputation to live up to. When you tell someone, "I know you'll handle this well," you hand them invisible armor. They walk taller, think clearer, and deliver better. Great leadership doesn't demand excellence. It inspires it. Think of a parent and child. A careless word can crush a spirit. A kind one can shape a destiny. Why can't you be like your sister? Kills growth. But you have a wonderful way of solving problems. Plants belief. Encouragement is the sunlight of family life. Without it, children grow up searching the world for approval. With it, they grow into adults who carry quiet confidence. Friendship thrives on faith. Real friends don't flatter. They remind you who you are when you've forgotten. Encouragement says, "I believe in you," even when you've lost belief in yourself. And sometimes that's the only rope that pulls you out of darkness. 5 steps to mastering the art of encouragement. Step 1, see the potential. Look for what could be, not just what is. Everyone carries a hidden strength waiting for acknowledgement. Step 2, speak belief publicly. A private compliment is good. A public vote of confidence is better. It multiplies impact. Step 3, give responsibility as trust. Nothing builds confidence faster than being trusted with something meaningful. Step 4, correct gently privately. Mistakes are opportunities to grow, not proof of failure. A gentle correction preserves dignity. Step 5, celebrate progress. Never underestimate the power of noticing improvement. What you reward, you reinforce. When Abraham Lincoln appointed Ulysses S. Grant, critics warned him Grant was a drunkard. Lincoln replied, "I wish I knew what brand he drinks so I could send a barrel to all my generals." He wasn't blind to faults. He chose to see potential. That encouragement built a general and helped save a nation. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." Encouragement helps others withdraw that consent. It reminds them of their worth. Today's world thrives on judgment. Social media, workplaces, even family. But encouragement is rebellion against cynicism. It says, "I choose to lift instead of tear down." And the irony? Encouraging others strengthens you. Because when you lift someone, your own spirit rises with them. Many older hearts carry quiet doubts. Am I still useful? Do I still matter? Dale would have smiled gently and said, "You matter more than ever," because the wisdom of years gives your words more weight. A few sincere sentences from you can light paths for the young. Encouragement is not limited by age. In fact, it grows stronger with time. It's the gift elders can give endlessly, and the world needs it now more than ever. Here is the story of a retired carpenter. He was finishing his last house before retirement. The work was careless. His heart wasn't in it. When the house was done, the builder handed him the keys. "It's yours," he said. "A gift for your years of service." Tears filled his eyes. If only he'd known he was building his own home, he would have done it differently. That's life, isn't it? Every word we speak, every action we take, we're building something we'll live in later. Encouragement builds a house of peace. Criticism builds walls of regret. A study once showed that employees who felt appreciated were 60% more productive. Why? Because encouragement taps into the human need for recognition. The best leaders don't just manage results. They nurture belief. Even a simple "I trust your judgment" can unlock creativity no threat ever could. Encouragement turns obligation into ownership. In hospitals, recovery often depends as much on hope as on medicine. Doctors who say, "You're doing great, keep it up," awaken strength. Families who whisper, "We believe in you," become medicine themselves. Encouragement isn't soft, it's survival fuel. There's a special dignity in those who have lived much and still choose to encourage. It means they've seen storms, yet still speak sunshine. A gentle word from someone older, wiser, seasoned by time, that's not small, that's legacy. When you encourage, you pass forward the torch of faith in humanity. Here are some daily tips. Compliment someone's effort, not just their success. When correcting, begin with confidence. "You've done well so far, and I know you can improve this too." Write one thank you note each week. It costs nothing and can outlast years. Tell someone today, "You inspire me." Mean it. Encouragement is a daily practice, not a performance. Encouragement aligns with something deeper. Grace. It's the belief that people can grow, that failure isn't final, that goodness can still be found. Carnegie's genius was never about tactics. It was about trust. Trust in people's ability to become better when believed in. Encouragement is faith made audible. So here's your challenge, my friend. Think of one person who's struggling, maybe at work, maybe in silence. Write them a message or speak to them today. Remind them of a strength they've forgotten, because your words may be the turning point they never tell you about, but never forget. Encouragement isn't noise. It's nourishment. It feeds the soul and builds the kind of confidence that lasts beyond applause. So give someone a fine reputation to live up to. Believe in them and watch them grow into it. And in our next lesson, we'll explore another timeless secret of influence: how to disarm resistance and win cooperation effortlessly. We'll uncover the magic of agreement, a principle that turns conflict into connection and argument into understanding. Until then, keep encouraging, keep believing. And remember, you hold the quiet power to change lives with nothing more than a few sincere words. See you all in next video.